Hey everybody, it's Professor Parish, and we're on English 109. Is it 16 already? Let's look, guys. Let's check this out. Let's go to assignments and scroll down here and see where we are at. Oh my gosh, we're on week 15, so not quite at 16 yet. So we're on week 15. All right, so this week, there is quite a bit to do for this week. We're getting closer to the end, so this may be one of the busier weeks that we have in the semester, but it's not going to be overwhelming. There's just multiple assignments, so I want to make sure that that's on your radar. So as far as reading goes, the reading that is due is chapter 17, which is a pretty short chapter. It's about argument, and it's on pages 364 to 378. We are starting our final paper in the class, which is our argument paper. And you can see down here that with the assignments due, we do have a discussion forum. The posts are due on Friday. The other posts are due the responses are due by Sunday. You have a reading response, grammar review number 9, and your outline and thesis for your argument paper. So there's quite a bit to do this week. So try to pace yourself, especially with the argument, thesis, and outline and your other assignments. But let me pull up, before we talk about argument and before we talk about the discussion forum, grammar review number 9 is pretty straightforward. I've got it pulled up here. It is just picking out the correct word, talking about adverbs and adjectives. That's in chapter 28 in your English skills textbook. And then the final part is choosing whether you say good or well. I always think of 30 Rock. I think of Jordan's character in 30 Rock where he's like, Superman does good, you do well. It's like, it basically, I feel like where we're at in Southern Illinois, the region indicates a lot of our diction and we confuse well and good a lot. So I wanted to include this type of activity on here just to test and see how good you are with it. But if you look at our textbook, you'll see that there is a very distinct reasoning of whether you choose good or well in chapter 28. And that should help you as you complete this assignment. But grammar review number 9, we've only got one left after this. Grammar review number 9 is due on Sunday. And then the reading response number 3 is also due on Sunday. Now with this reading response, you're basically choosing a story from Human Groups in Society between pages 667 and 700 in our textbook. And then there are 8 comprehension questions, and then there are 3 content, structure, and style and tone questions to complete. I will note that a lot of you have done really well in the comprehension, but some of you are skipping or not completing the 3 questions below, so make sure you do that because that is part of your grade. But that reading response is also due Sunday as well. And then let's talk about your discussion forum next. I'm going to scroll down here to the discussion forum for week 15. Week 15's discussion forum is going to be looking at this video right here. And then this video it's a little dated. It's about 5 years old, but here's the thing. It's still something that I think we deal with even 5 years later and have been dealing with for quite some time. So it's a really funny video. It's by John Oliver. It's about food waste. I like John Oliver's humor style. He's got that dry British humor. But I think the topic that he's talking about is really important here. And if he were in English 109 with us, this would make a perfect topic for the final paper. So I'd like you to watch this video. It's about 15 minutes long, so give yourself that time to watch it. And then there's 3 questions here. Do you think this problem is still pervasive or apparent in our society? In what ways does it impact us locally, where we're at right now? Do you agree with the video solutions? What solutions would work for our area? And then what was your overall impressions and what works and doesn't work in this video? So I'm really curious what you guys think. Obviously, humor is going to be something that some people like, some people don't like. Humor can be really subjective depending on your style. But I think overall the argument is going to be something that everybody can kind of agree on. But I'm still curious to know what your opinions are going to be about the video. So that's the discussion forum. And then finally, the last thing to talk about is our last paper, which is the paper on argumentation. So I'm really excited because argumentation is one of the types of papers I really like to read because I like to hear what you guys think about these papers, about these topics. So I'm going to go to resources to documents. There is in your resources a sample argument paper from a previous semester. You can click on it and check that paper out if you need some ideas on formatting. But the guidelines for a paper, I'm going to pull that up here, and how you do the outline and thesis. The thesis and outline assignment is the same as what you've been doing for your other papers, so that doesn't change. I just wanted to show you guys this. But as far as argumentation goes, you can pretty much choose any topic that you want. There are topics that are overdone. Obviously, I think the two topics that I would kind of like you to steer away from and do not use, don't use legalizing marijuana, because guess what? It's legal in Illinois. And so that topic's kind of moot. It's not going to work anymore. I've read a ton of papers on that. And I've read a lot of papers on abortion. And you know, guys, I know that this is 109 and a lot of you will probably end up writing on that topic later in 121, but it's very overdone. And I've honestly read like 40 or 50 papers on that topic. It's just a very overdone topic. So unless you can really add something new to the equation, something new in research, don't choose that topic. I want this to be something you're passionate about, obviously, but I think that there's more you are passionate about than just abortion. So try not to pick that as a topic. There's lots of other topics about reproductive health that you can choose. There's lots of other topics about motherhood you can choose, but that one's really overdone. So if you can, avoid that topic. Otherwise, I'm going to be very critical on your papers. If you choose that topic, I am going to be super hypercritical about it, because I've told you that I don't like it as a topic. It's overdone. So if you do end up choosing it, that's your prerogative, but I will be hypercritical of your paper and the analysis of it. So just bear that in mind. Now, I've talked to you all at this point. I've graded all of your paper 3s. Most of you did a really, really good job with paper 3. I think the main critique I had was either getting the page length, which the page length is the same with your last paper as it has been the others, but also about citing resources. So if you cite a source, and I'm going to scroll down here to kind of show you, and you probably will cite a source for this paper because it's dealing with topics that require research, that require someone else's opinion to back yours up. So if you use research, what you want to do is go to the very end of your paper and do what we call a reference page of your references, and you can just center that title there. Usually they bold the title, but you don't have to. I won't count off if you don't. And then you're going to give me your source. So if you got your source from a website, you're going to do the author, first name, comma, then the last name. In quotation marks, you're going to do the title of the source. And then in italics, you're going to put the web source. And then the publisher of the website, the date that you got it, and then web, and then a link. Okay? So I'm showing you guys this on here so you'll have a reference. So for example, if I do John Smith, I do Smith, John. I need to switch that. Look at me getting it wrong. It's last name and then first name. So it's going to be Smith, comma, John. Then I'm going to do the title of my web source, which is going to be, let's just say, argument paper. And then my web source, I'm going to put in italics, which is that I symbol on Microsoft Word. So if my source is New York Times, I'm going to say NY Times. And then this is where a lot of students get confused, because NY Times is my web source. I'm going to italicize that. And then who publishes the NY Times? The New York Times. So it may seem like you're being repetitive, but you do need to put the web source and the publisher together. It won't always be the same, but a lot of times they will be very similar, and that's okay. Then the date published, if it was today, I would do 04. I would put, let me put on here, the day, which is 19 April 2021. And then web is my source. And then I would do my link, which would be like www.nytimes.com/argument paper. And that's how you cite it. So that's how you cite a source. And you'll learn more about MLA and English 121, and you'll do more examples of it. But I do want something kind of like this with your sources for your final paper, or at least I want you to show me your sources. Show me links, show me something that tells me where you got your research from. And that way you're not being accused of plagiarism and for stealing someone else's ideas, right? So if you have questions about this, you can let me know. You can also email your papers for extra peer review to joanna.lane@sic.edu. She is our English tutor. And she would love to see your paper and give you feedback as well. She's getting paid to be a tutor on campus, so she's like, please send me all the papers that you can. So if you have a paper you want her to look at, not just for this class, but other classes too, send it to her and she'll give you some feedback on it. But yeah, that's pretty much the assignments for this week. There is a lot to do, so I would encourage you, don't wait until this weekend to do it, because, you know, it's spring. If the weather's nice, you're going to want to be outside. And you're going to be like, man, I wish I had my English done and then I could be outside. But make sure to go ahead and get the assignments done for this week, especially the discussion forum due Friday. And then you can go ahead and see week 16, which is next week. You can go ahead and see those assignments up here if you want to work ahead. But otherwise, if you have any questions, please make sure to let me know and I'll be happy to answer any for you. But we're almost to the end, guys. We have 3 weeks left. You can do this. You've got this. If you have questions, let me know. But otherwise, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and I'll talk to you all again soon. Bye.